Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bookmarked by Cousins Bookclub. I'm your host, Lena, and I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is a special one. We will be getting to know a little bit more about me and my personal reading taste, and I will be sharing my top 10 favorite books so you can get a better sense of the stories I love. But that's not all. Later on in this episode, I'll be joined by a very special guest, my dear friend and incredibly talented author of Drawn in the Name of Love, Rut S. Diaz. We'll be talking about her journey as a writer and the inspiration behind her beautiful book. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to start off by saying that these are not ranked in order because that would be a little bit too hard, but we'll start off with my top 10 favorites. Starting off with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I have it here. It is such a special read for me. It was my first ever V.E. Schwab book, and I picked it up and I instantly fell in love with the way she writes and her prose. This book touches on making a bargain for freedom and immortality, and it is at the cost of being forgotten by everyone you ever meet in your life, which you get to see a lot of the struggles that Addie goes through and how she inevitably tries to leave her mark on the world, even though she struggles to connect with anyone. And I also just read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and that was just as good as this one. So I definitely recommend both of them. Next up on my favorites list is going to be kind of a double one because it's by the same author. We have Book Lovers and Happy Place by Emily Henry. Both of these are big favorites of mine. Emily Henry is an auto-buy author for me. She has never let me down, and it has consistently been a five-star review for me. Book Lovers is my favorite. It is always been my number one in her ranking, even though it's so hard to rank them since I love them all. But something about Book Lovers and the main character, Nora, has just resonated with me so deeply. She is very much the oldest daughter core. It also touches on the loss of a parent, having your life put together, and I constantly think about this one. I also love Charlie, our male MMC. He matches Nora's wit and personality so well, and I absolutely love him. And now for Happy Place. I have always had a hard time describing this one because I love it so much, but something about it just makes my heart hurt. And it is not necessarily a sad story, but something about it is so bittersweet and emotional. It's a second chance romance for our main characters, Win and Harriet. It's a touches a lot about growing older and feeling lost and growing apart from your friends and having grief. But it still has that very fun Emily Henry romance aspect, and it is a very fun read. But something about it just makes me feel so deeply, and I do love it a lot. It is probably number two in my ranking of her books, but those change a lot. Now we have a fun one. This is Swift and Saddled by Lyla Sage. I have to include a cowboy romance in my top 10. They are always a fun time. They are always so flirty and cute and fun to read. And Lila's Rebel Blue Ranch series, this one is about Ada and Wes, or Weston, and their story is my favorite out of them all. This is a very sweet book. It's very black cat, golden retriever energy. It talks a lot about mental health and the connection in a relationship. And one of the things I love about the Rebel Blue Ranch series is every book talks about mental health or disability representation, and it's done very seamlessly and very well integrated into the characters. And I love both of them, and I love this book a lot. Okay, we're getting into my all-time favorite series. This is my number one for everything. I know I said these aren't ranked, but this one, if there could be a number one, it would be this. This is from my favorite series ever, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and this is the second book in the series, The Ballad of Never After. This is the first fantasy series I read, and it truly made me fall in love with YA fantasy and has made it my favorite genre. It is so whimsical. It deals with curses, which apparently are a very common theme that I really enjoy. And it follows a very pure hearted FMC, Evangeline Fox, and a pretty morally gray MMC, the Prince of Hearts, Jax. And yeah, this world is just absolutely pure magic, and I will always recommend it to everyone. This second book is just everything to me, but the first and third book are just as good. Next, for another series that is very whimsical, is the Folk of the Air series. I My favorite is the third book. This is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. Um, this is the third book in the trilogy. I will preface by saying that this is not a romantasy. This is, I think people get kind of the wrong impression of it, but this is a YA political fantasy. And I honestly love these books. I also love the separate duology. It's up there. It is The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne. And I love those. It is a very magical realm. When I think of whimsy or a mythical realm, it is the world of Elfhame. If we also want to talk about a book with a strong female character, it is Jude. She is just someone who embodies power, and I also love that no one in the series is inherently good. Everyone is a little morally gray. Everyone does questionable things, and it makes for such a complex like relationships and plot. And I really enjoy this one. Now for a book that I feel is very hit or miss for people, and I understand is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I think people go into this thinking it's a romance because people do kind of say it's about a relationship, but it is not. It is literary fiction, contemporary fiction, even coming of age story. I read this book and then immediately went and watched the show, and it made the experience 10 times better, and it made me understand this book so much more. Um, I've never actually released a real review for this book because I have a very hard time talking about it, but I do remember saying, like, and I quote, these people are in dire need of therapy. And that still stands. It follows a young couple weaving in and out of each other's lives as friends, as more than friends. It deals with a lot of mental health and identity. And yeah, it's a very good book. I really love this one. It is a hit or miss, but it is a favorite of mine. Next up, we have The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is a really great love story. It revolves around a really interesting plot. It is about time travel or a time traveling apartment that sets you back 7 years when you need it the most. So you could be in the apartment and it sets you back in time. And this book heavily touches on different stages of life and change and death of a loved one and how that grief follows you. And we follow Clementine throughout her story during this and also her budding romance. Um, Another one of my favorites that deals with grief a little bit is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is a duology. It takes place in a setting that is very similar to 20th century Europe, but it is magical. This is a YA fantasy, and it has a lot of whimsical elements, and it takes place during a war on gods. It talks a lot about grappling with loss and dealing with the repercussions of war, but the main plot is about Roman and Iris, I love them, who are two rival reporters for the newspaper during the war times. And they end up anonymously connecting through mysterious circumstances through a set of enchanted typewriters. And I absolutely love this duology. The other book is Ruthless Vows. And yeah, both of the books do so well setting up the journey between Roman and Iris and also showing this like magical lore of this world. And yeah, this is definitely a favorite. When I read it, I absolutely loved both of them. I finished them within like a couple days. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is Drowned in the Name of Love by Rut S. Diaz. Finally, we get to talk about this book. I will be interviewing her. I don't want to give too much away because I do want her to give y'all a chance to hear about it from herself. But this is a YA romantasy, and it has romantic prose and pirates, and it is like such magical world building. And I love Donna and Calico, and I can't wait for you guys to learn more about them in this next interview. And I hope you all enjoy it. Hi everyone. Today I'm joined with my dear friend Rue, debut author, full-time romantic, and self-proclaimed moon lover. Some critics may accuse her of excessive romanticism, and honestly, that's exactly why we love her. Her first book, Drawn in the Name of Love, has been out since February, and today we will be diving into the dreamy universe of Piracy for Lovers. Rue, welcome to the Bookmark podcast. You can start off by telling us about yourself and about your book.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. First of all, thank you for having me. First of all.
Of course.
And well, I'm Rut S, and I'm the author of Garden of Love, which is YA pirate romantasy. Um, I wouldn't I wouldn't describe the book as like epic or cozy fantasy because it has like it's not high fantasy and it's not epic fantasy, but it's not cozy fantasy either. So like a mix of everything. And it's like romantic and you have a lot of good things like slow burn and found family. I don't know, a lot of cute stuff. I feel like if I say too much, it's like,
No,
well,
we don't
honestly,
want to give it away. We don't want to give it away. And the
yeah,
questions will give more to what the story is
exactly.
about. So we'll get into it. Okay, so first, you published your book on Valentine's Day, very special day. You got to share Donna and Calico's love story with the world. What was the reason behind Valentine's Day?
Well, I feel like I always say this, but I feel like it's the footprint of the book. But I feel like the book is like love itself. Like all the aspects of love are in the book, and I wanted um for it to be like a gift for Valentine's Day because you know how in Valentine's Day, well, the day of love, first of all, and you know how in Valentine's Day everyone is like gifting, I don't know, whatever, love letters, chocolate, whatever, any form of love. And I don't know, it's like it's a story about the transformative power of love, like not only romantic love and it's love for friendship, even the love for the sea, because that's like I could write an essay on the love for the sea. I wrote a book actually, but like I feel like I just wanted to write a love letter, and I didn't want for people to see it like just a romantasy and a romance novel or a love story. It is a love story, obviously, but it's not only romantic love that we get to see. So yeah, but honestly, me publishing it on Valentine's Day was just trying to be funny and be like, yeah, the day of love. So this book is basically love.
Yeah.
So
No,
and
I think it was perfect.
yeah, I think I hit the target.
No,
That
it was perfect. And it was so you, and it matched the book perfectly. And I think it was the best gift for Valentine's Day. So let's actually backtrack to Bookstagram. We met there probably two years ago. So we've known each other since the beginning. I would say you've been on Bookstagram for almost 3 years. And what got you started on there?
mostly I think it was just me trying to look for a community or like feeling part of the community because I've always been a reader and I've always like read obviously and watched Bookstagram like from the outside from my main account. Like it was not a Bookstagram account, but and YouTube and all of that. And I feel like every time I was talking about a book that I love or even my writing because I started writing even before that. But I always felt like I was screaming into a void because no one, unfortunately, like in my circle, no one is a reader or not. I don't want to say maybe not a reader, but someone who loves books the way the book community loves books.
Yeah.
And we express love for books, right? And I feel like I just wanted to have that community and not only for someone to hear me, but for someone to say, "Hey, I love that book too so much. Like, let's talk about this book." You
Yeah.
know, meet like friends and all that. So
No, I love Bookstagram. For any of y'all who are watching, me and Rue, we met on Bookstagram when I started mine, and it was literally only like maybe a couple of months into it. And she
yeah.
like slid up all my comments, and I was like, "Who is this girl? I love her." And then we've been friends ever since. And it's amazing.
I
And then
love that. Like everyone, like just comment into each other's posts. Like I don't know you, but I just love your vibe, and I love post. I love this book. Like
no,
that's
literally. That's how we all make friends. It's just like, I really love your post. I really love this book. I think we're the same person. Let's be best friends. And then we all just became friends. And I love that. And you kind of just answered the next question. But was you kind of already answered it, but was being on Bookstagram and reading so often what inspired you to write Drawn in the Name of Love, or was that always in the cards for you?
Honestly, I mean, it was always in the cards, but I've never thought on like publishing the book. Maybe for me, writing has always been like not a hobby, but I've always had like a journal or a diary, and I was always writing. In school, I was signing myself like in every writing contest or whatever, and I've always loved it. But I never thought of it like as a future for me, like a career maybe, or like for other people to read it. And when I started my Bookstagram, I was writing Drowning of Love already and other books, but I'm crazy. But
My other side quest.
but being in Bookstagram made me realize that I could do it. Like, not only I had like friends and maybe like a tiny little audience, but people who maybe perhaps like read my reviews and were like, "Your writing is so good." I don't know. It was like that push that I needed. I feel like without Bookstagram, I wouldn't be able to publish.
Yeah.
Like, not only by myself, but like the thought of publishing the book was never in my head.
Yeah.
So that was Bookstagram and the book community, and seeing how a lot of readers too were publishing their books, like self-publishing. And I was like, wait, maybe I could, not only because people are telling me and maybe they like my writing, but I feel like I can do it.
So, Piracy for Lovers world universe is so rich with history and lore. And how did you approach world building for that? You had the nine C's, you had the seven, you had the romantic order. You can also explain that to anyone who has not read the book. And did you start with a map, like a mood board, a certain character? How did you even build that world?
Okay, I love this question because actually it was thanks to the world building that the story started. Like, it was not I had a character in mind or a couple of characters and I wanted to tell the story. It was actually the world building because I've always wanted to write a world based on romanticism, like romantics. People who live here are romantics, period.
Yes.
And yeah, that was like the first thought that I got for the book, and that's how the romantic order started. Then we have the Violanthian religion, who is like an evil religion. Who this is actually because I'm obsessed with the fact of the divine intertwining with the earthly, and that also answers the seven gods thing because basically my world like Marathais, the four kingdoms of Marathais is a world divided by four kingdoms, right? And everyone was a romantic, like they were ruled by the romantic order, but someday a long time ago, um men, because they ruin everything, men
Always.
um they took advantage of people's take things and reshape them into something to control and manipulate to hold power over others. Like, for me, it was like, okay, who would want to take this romantic idea and make it into something horrendous, or like, because like, let people be, I don't know.
People be.
Yeah, like that's exactly like the dynamics and the politics of Drawing Name of Love. It's like what I wanted to say with this world building is like, in the wrong hands they can become like weapons and you know twisted stories, and that's exactly what my world building like and politics is, right? And all of this to say that I didn't plan anything, I didn't draw a map. Well, like, it was like the first thought, like when built the book from the start. It was that. It was the
Yeah.
romantic order and the gods and mixing the earthly with the divine, and evil people trying to twist beautiful things and brainwashing other people.
Yes.
And then after that, everything came to mind, like the characters, the love story, the lore. Then I drew a map. I did it myself.
Yes.
And yeah, basically I didn't have like a huge that was like the first.
You created that world so beautifully, and I feel like the world is what came in I don't wanna say the strongest because I love the characters, I love the plot, everything about it, but the world was just so vivid, and I absolutely loved it, so I think you did a great job doing it.
You that made me so happy because it was literally like the base of everything. So
Yeah,
like in a sense, because without the world, like the aesthetics and
yeah.
everything, the story wouldn't be
None of
here.
this would have worked. No, and it worked. It worked well. Okay, I kinda know the answer to this, but for everyone else, what books, movies, characters, and media inspired Drown in the Name of Love?
I love this question. First of all, okay, I feel like um I always say the same thing, but because it's a bit obvious. But well, first of all, I want to say that I always take inspiration from my favorite things. I feel like we all do, but well, this is a way to say that my favorite book, I don't know. One of the books that I got inspiration from was Once a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Obviously, like
Yes.
the romantic setting, I would say like the romantic setting is a mix of Once a Broken Heart and Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously. But with that, I don't mean that I took literally whatever from Once a Broken Heart and whatever from Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Because for example, I don't know, like my book has nothing to do with Once a Broken Heart,
No.
but at the same time, it's so Once a
Has
Broken
the
Heart.
vibes. It's just the vibes.
Exactly, like the vibes, maybe even the characters, but like you can tell that I took inspiration from it, right?
Yes.
So that's one of those the books. Sorry, and This Moving Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi
Mhm.
series. This Moving Kingdom series. I'm obsessed with the series. And I feel like from that series, what I took, it was like also the wins me a bit. But mostly the political intrigue, like I don't know how to describe it, but there's so much lore going on.
Yeah.
And in my book, there's so much lore going on too.
Oh, yeah.
Like it wouldn't be like the love story. I feel like the romance in my book is not subplot, obviously, but I also don't feel like the lore and like political intrigue in general is the subplot either. It's like they
No.
coexist,
Yeah.
right? And I feel the same with this one kingdom. And I wanted to write something with that balance.
I feel like your political, like, it's not a subplot because it's not, but I feel like it adds so much more depth to everything about the book. Like the romance, there's just so much lore there. So
Yeah.
much lore. I can't wait until the second book because I know the lore is just it's gonna keep coming. And uh, no, I think it just added so much more depth. I love a book with some political aspects of it. I feel like it just deepens the book so much more, and I think it just made it so much better. I loved it.
Mm.
I love a lore. I love a lore dump. So
Me too. That's why I didn't want to write a book like, well, honestly, all books are beautiful and awesome. Like
yes.
that's it. Other book that I took inspiration from, now that I'm thinking of it, I would say Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo.
Mhm.
Even though it's nothing like Six of Crows, that element of, well, obviously the found family. I feel like
No,
found
I
family
see it. I see where you're
just
coming from.
makes everything better. But what I mean with Six of Crows is like, like the morally gray characters that are actually working together for a common good.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, my characters are pirates. So they are thieves, they are
They're
killers,
morally gray.
they're morally great characters. But that aspect from Leigh Bardugo, because I feel like she does it so well with her other books, not only Six of Crows, but the aspect of family there was. But yes, it's like the fact of making, for example, a thief lovable, like a lovable character. A thief, like he's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
He's a pirate. Like he's a liar. But
We love all of them. Every
exactly,
single one. We
exactly.
love them.
And then obviously Pirates of the Caribbean.
Of
Obviously,
course.
I love who doesn't love Pirates of the Caribbean. But I feel like with Pirates of the Caribbean, um, it's like not only because of the aesthetics or because of pirates, basically, but because you know that romantic feeling, not even romantic aesthetic, because I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean is are like the movies are very dark,
Yeah.
and the lore and the
Oh,
myth and everything like is fantastic. And I feel like I took inspiration from that, from the romantic feeling of the legends, the myths, the power of the sea, and not only like, oh, the sea can turn you into a monster, and the sea can curse you forever, and you are a dead man, like a living dead man, a
yeah.
walking dead, basically. You're walking dead. And but like, that aspect, like not only the power of the sea, like physically, but you know, those scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean, or in general, where they are looking for sailors, for like a crew to
Yeah.
sail. A ship can sail without a crew.
Yeah.
So they're looking for people, and you don't know those people. Like,
No.
hey, who wants to come with
No,
me?
it's like they're walking down the street.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go fight the Kraken, or I'm gonna go, I don't know, whatever. And I just love the fact that all of them go like straight to that table, and they are like, sign me in. I don't
I
care.
went in.
Where are we going? I don't care. Are we going to the, like, are we sailing? I need the sea. Are we sailing?
Yes.
Yes. Let's go. I need the sea. Like, that feeling, like, I don't care where are we going. Like, I need the sea,
I
and I
need
need
to
to
see.
sail. I don't have a ship, but if you offer me a ship and people I don't know, I don't care. I'm gonna be out there. So just take me with you. Like Treasure Planet, other movie, for example, Treasure Planet, a movie.
Yes, yes.
Super like into it. One Piece, obviously, Pirates, fancy, super fan. Um oh, and for the characters, girl, I'm so sorry. Okay, for Calico, obviously, I took inspiration from Killian Jones, the first one, from Once Upon a Time. Ah, that man. Well, like I took inspiration from Captain Hook, but I took inspiration from Killian Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So Calico, my main character, if I didn't say it earlier, Calico is the main character. He's captain of the ship. Um, he has a bit of Killian Jones. He also has a bit of Will Turner, but at the same time, there was one time a reader said to me, Calico is the perfect mix of Will Turner and Jack Sparrow. Like, it's the perfect mix.
That's
And
good.
yeah,
That was good. That's a good
yeah,
one.
I can see
Yep.
it. And yeah, oh, Prince Eric, obviously, because he's so, well, I'm not gonna say much. Just read the book, guys.
Read the book, guys. Come on.
And for Donna, I feel like obviously Prince Ariel. Donna is so Ariel.
Oh,
Uh,
for real.
Also Rapunzel.
You're working on your second book. Is there anything you can tell us about it? Did you decide on if it's a series, a duology? Maybe you'll have some novellas for other characters. What do we have to look forward to in the future?
Well, in my mind, it was always going to be a trilogy. Like Piracy for Lovers is the title of the world. Well, yes, the books. And in my mind, it was always going to be a trilogy. But now that I'm writing book two, like you mentioned, I honestly feel like I can wrap up everything in it, like in book two, like give you guys a big one and wrap everything up. But I don't know. We'll see. I need to talk to my agent, because she's the supreme, like she is the best at giving advice. So obviously I'm new into the, publishing world and all that. So but yeah, maybe if it's not a trilogy, it's gonna be a duology. So, and about the novellas, I've always wanted to write books, well, little books, novellas about the crew, like one novella for each member of the crew. Maybe not like one for each, because for example, you read the book. So yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but like there are members of the crew that could have a book, like two characters can have one book. So
Some people could, their stories intertwine a little.
yeah, like you can. But yeah, I've always thought of writing novellas, because I feel like their stories have so much potential, and there's so much lore into the crew. Like, where did they come from, first of all? how did the Rebecca is the name of the ship for all of you who don't know the ship, the main ship from my book. How did like the Rebecca, how was the Rebecca born? Like where where was she? And yeah, I would love to write novellas. I don't know if I'm going to. I would love to get a novella. And for the future, I just hope more books. I have a lot of stories, a lot of, I don't know, things to say, as you can say, because I just love to jab and I love to.
Let's share.
The thing is, it's so difficult talking about book two without spoiling, not spoiling book one. Well, mostly because of that ending. Like, I feel like I can't say or share
No.
it because something happens at the end of book one.
Yes.
And you just can't.
Oh, it changes the trajectory of the whole second book that I do fear you cannot talk about it. And I understand that.
Exactly.
I get it.
Even though I've been posting quotes and all that, and people obviously assume. Um,
It's nothing too much. We're not. No.
but yeah, the only thing I'm having so much fun, and I hope that you guys have fun too, like with book two. And we're visiting new places, and one of my favorites also. So I think it's different from book one, but at the same time, it isn't obviously like it's the same um storyline and everything. And yeah, it's gonna change. A lot of questions are gonna be answered, obviously, because I feel like you said, the lore goes like it's so deep. It's so deep. Um, and a lot of questions are gonna be answered. And yeah, and the lore is gonna be explained. I really want to talk about it.
You're like, I
But I
actually want to tell you
can't
something.
with no one.
Okay, so thank you, Root, for coming on the Bookmark podcast. I loved having you as a guest. And yeah, I can't wait to see whatever's next for you.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been so much fun. And that's it. Thank you so much. I had a great time. The best time ever. I had the
Me
best time.
too. I had a great time.